something is going down. So we did broadcast for 15 seconds or so off air, but we're back now. Hope that you're all back on as well. And our tonight's special guest, of course, is Meiz. And Meiz, I'm awful sorry for that. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
You were talking about the greatest day in history, and that comment that it's an all-time favourite, and it was quite funny because I was talking to one of my friends who leads a Welsh language church, and when I released Hallelujah, he was saying, I'm so glad you did this because I thought I was going to have to sing the greatest day in history for every Easter Sunday for the rest of my life. But he said, now we've got a song that we can sing instead, so thank you so much. So I thought that was quite funny, so I was happy to do that for him.
That's brilliant. Well, Beulah said, in fact, the greatest day has to be an all-time favourite for me, and this song is great. Don't understand Welsh, but this song made me smile so much. And I do apologise, we've lost all the other comments that we had because we dived off air inadvertently. Didn't press anything, just decided to play Gremlins or whatever. But so in terms of where we were going, we were going to talk about lockdown and how that's affected you. But one thing that we haven't spoke about was Noise Ministry, your ministry work, and I'd like to talk about that next, if I may. So can you tell us a bit about the work you do? You've talked a lot about what you do tonight, but specifically about Noise.
Yeah. So like I say, Noise Ministries was founded with the vision to share the love of God through music. The main way I want to do that and love to do that is to travel to different churches and play these songs live. I say it's just something different about being able to really minister to people like live and just sing over them, just share Jesus with them. I just love it. That's where like I feel most at home. And during lockdown it's been difficult not to be able to do that, and I had to cancel a few gigs and stuff. But in the meantime, just trying to do some online stuff, which is great that we can do that. But I'm sure that you're the same. There's nothing quite like being in a room full of people, either worshiping or singing over people. So I'm missing that. But yeah, so it's been going 3 years now. And like I say, that the main thing is to travel to different churches, but it's always changing. It's always evolving. It's always like I say, that like this Welsh language stuff has come along, and I really feel like that's going to be a bigger part of what I do as part of Noise Ministries. I've released 2 solo EPs, which you can listen to on Spotify and stuff. Like I say, I don't know what it's going to look like. We had the podcast that was going. It's taken a bit of a hiatus, but I'm hoping to bring that back soon. Just like I say, I was chatting to you earlier, wasn't I? And just saying, God has given me a gift, and all I'm trying to do is to use that to give back to him. It's like that parable of the talents, the one who had 5 double day and the one who had 10 double day. Well, whatever God's given me, I want to give back to him. And one of the things he's given me is a musical gift. And I'm just wanting that to bless people and to honor God, really. And that's what the ministry is all about. Like, it's hard to define exactly what that looks like day to day because every day is different for me. But the main thing is just, pointing people to Jesus through music, whether that's Christians, leading them in worship, or whether that's non-believers and just presenting the gospel to them through a song. I think that's quite powerful, because sometimes people might struggle to listen to a half an hour message.
Yeah.
But everyone's used to listening to a 4 or 5 minute song. So if I can, convey the gospel to them in a song, then that's, who knows what God's going to do with that.
And also songs are quite catchy and more memorable in a way, because there's songs like, for instance, Barbie Girl by Aqua, you can't get out of your head.
Gosh.
Do you know what I mean? So if you've got like a song like that which is about the gospel, you're not going to forget it in a hurry, are you? And you can take that away with you then.
Music's such a powerful tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and obviously we both got quite a similar ministry in one sense, that God's given us. So it is a powerful tool, and God's given it to us. Such a gift. Music is such a gift. So, like I said, I just want to use that gift to bless him.
Totally, and thank you everybody for hopping back on. We're back up to where we were before the technical issues. Had a note come through from the software I use. It just lets us know when we're off air, which is useful. But we always do appreciate when you say things aren't working as well, because that helps us. So thank you. Feel free to feedback anytime on stuff like that, and feel free to ask Meiz, our special guest tonight, your questions as well. We're going to listen to a song in a moment, Meiz, but before we do that, I just wanted to ask you about lockdown, because I've not really asked you about lockdown. Obviously, I'm aware of some of the things that have been happening to you in lockdown, which isn't very nice at all. So you said you've had a bit of a chill because you were very busy and things like that before, but there's quite an interesting story. While we were listening to one of the songs, Meiz went to the door and you were dreading it was going to be the police, weren't you?
I was in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, who's knocking my door at 9:30? And they'd left by the time I got to the door. But that is one thing that happened during lockdown. It's been a very interesting period for me. I live on my own, so it's like it's been an interesting time. And I was chatting to you earlier, wasn't I, and saying it's been good for me in a lot of ways, spiritually speaking. Been able to like really spend time in the Word and in prayer, and that's been so good and so needed. Sometimes we do need to rest. And before lockdown, it was just a bit crazy sometimes between church and noise and everything else, and the Welsh language stuff. It was a bit mad. So it's almost like God. I felt like God was like, okay, you've got permission to rest a little bit, which has been good. But I know I'm looking forward to get back into. But yeah, that one day, I was chatting to my friends from church on Zoom, and there's a knock on the door, and I open it. There's 2 police officers there, and I'm going, what on earth is going on? And they were like, "Oh, we've been told you've got people in your house." I was like, "No, I haven't." But what can I do? They came in and they searched the whole house, and I was just like, "Well, it's obviously no one here." I'm talking to my friends on Zoom. Turns out it was the house behind me, because we're both number 2, and that's the awkward thing. So sometimes I get wrong deliveries and stuff, which is one thing, but having 2 policemen at your door is not a nice experience. So that was a negative experience.
Joking aside, was it a fairly lively Zoom church meeting that you had on that made them think that?
No, so it turns out that the other house, it was true, they did have people over and they shouldn't have. So they, to be fair, they did come back and apologise to me, the police did, which I appreciated. But unfortunately, it was a bit too late and they'd come into my house, and the irony was that they didn't stay 2 meters away. I thought, how ironic is that?
Gosh.
But anyway, it is what it is, and luckily, I didn't, get anything like contract COVID or whatever. So that's fine now. But like I say, for the most part, I have to say that personally speaking, lockdown's been okay. I was a bit worried because obviously I live on my own, and that's got its difficulties. But with the technology we've got, I've been able to stay really connected. Which has been really good. I've actually spoken to some people more during lockdown than I would have if it wasn't the case. But obviously this week now, with the small changes that have been made, that's been really helpful. And I spent the afternoon in my parents' garden yesterday, which was lush. So I think even those small changes are going to help, especially people who are maybe lonely or isolated. It's going to help us a lot. Because just to be able to go and see your mates for a couple of hours outside, it's going to be a real blessing and a nice change. So it's for the most part, it's been. I'm not being as busy as you, obviously, doing it, and I just want to honour you and just say that we appreciate all the work you've been putting in for people who've been struggling. I'm sure it's been a massive help and a real blessing. So just to appreciate what you're doing, appreciate the effort you've put in, because I've seen behind the scenes and it's a lot of work, guys. And Rob's putting it in every day, so we do appreciate it. And you deserve a break after the end of this week now.
I need a break, to be honest with you. I can't carry on beyond Saturday. I just can't. But I'm going to give it everything until then, and who knows what the future holds as well. In terms of Pontypridd, you mentioned earlier on in the program about the floods, of course, and that you sang on a song about it as well. I mean, how was it for you? And I know obviously Tim, who's been on you today, was very badly affected, and I spoke to Tim last week, and I think things are starting to clean up finally now, months later, and God bless you, Tim, for all you do as well. But what's it been like for you, and how were you affected?
So Debs, who's watching along, she actually wrote that song, an amazing song.
Wow. Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, 2020's just been just a crazy, crazy year, isn't it? Like, I mean, I can't believe everything's happened at once. It feels like so. On February was it the 15th or something like around then, I had my 3rd year anniversary concert, and we'd had some weather warnings, so a lot of people didn't turn up, and I was a bit like, oh come on, it's a bit of rain, but luckily everyone got home safe. But I woke up the next morning and like checked social media, and it's just pictures of Ponty just absolutely like a river running through the middle of Ponty, and I just couldn't believe it. And obviously, like you say, like people like Tim, businesses, houses being affected, people from our church personally affected, their homes destroyed. It was such a tough time, but at the same time, in the middle of crisis, you do see the heart of a community.
Sure. Yeah.
And for me personally, to see how people of Ponty and the churches of Ponty came together, banded together, just helped each other, loved each other, that was great to see. So, we used our church as a sort of relief centre for that first weekend. For people who had been affected, they could just dry off and have a safe space. And then we had a fundraising concert, which we sang Debs' song at, and raised a lot of money there to go straight to the people who'd been affected by the floods. So, like I say, it was a tough time. But it was great to see the community pull together. But then, like, just as we're sort of getting over that, this pandemic kicks off, and it's just another thing on top of each other. And now we've got all the problems in America, and it's really difficult to make sense of it all.
Yeah, totally.
But I think just for me, my faith is the thing that keeps me grounded and gives me hope, and ultimately gives me hope for this world, because this world is broken at the minute. But Christ is going to come and restore us, and that's just going to be such an amazing day. So that's what I hold on to. Without my faith, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably just be completely hopeless for this world, the state that it's in. But I know that God's not done with us, and He's working even now. That's what we can forget. But He is at work, and we can all call out to Him and speak to Him, and. Yeah, I'm just grateful for who He is, and the fact that He loves me. And in this lockdown, being able to read His words, just be reminded of how awesome God is, has been such a needed time for me to step away. Because even in ministry, sometimes you're talking about God so much, and you're so busy doing God's work that you're not able to spend that time that you should in His presence.
Yeah.
So just be able to stop and do that has been absolutely needed for me, has been a necessity. And maybe I didn't realize how badly I needed to do that until it was forced on me. So I think my faith has strengthened me, keep me grounded, and has been actually grown stronger during this time, if you believe it or not. But that's what I've experienced during this time, at least.
Marvellous. Well, you're listening to Meiz, our very special guest tonight, fellow Christian singer-songwriter, of course. And Meiz, we're going to listen to a song now. You said that the world is upside down, and this song is called Upside Down Kingdom.
Yeah, I love this song. It's one of my favourites that I've written, because it's a lot of fun, and it's ultimately a song about hope. And like you say, it's called Upside Down Kingdom. And I wrote it, I was thinking about, how the Jewish people at the time of Christ, they were expecting this Messiah, but maybe expecting a sort of general type figure that was literally going to overthrow the Roman Empire. But Jesus wasn't what they expected. He was, his kingdom was all about love, gentleness, and grace. And he came and healed people and loved people and gave people value. And he wasn't what they were expecting. And I think even today, sometimes people expect Jesus to be a certain thing, but when we come to know Him, He's nothing like that. People have certain expectations of a Christian, what they're like, or of church, what that's like. But actually, it's not about, people don't always represent Christ well. When you come to know Him, He literally turns your life upside down, and that's what I've experienced. I'm sure you have. You're never the same after you come to know Jesus. And so that's what this song is about, how, in the kingdom of God, the least is the greatest. The king is a servant. The slave is free. It's literally like everything you'd think about in a worldly kingdom. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
But that's what's so amazing about him. So hopefully that song makes us realise that. And again, there's that message at the end in the bridge. This kingdom changed the world. This kingdom never ends. The King of Kings is risen and he's coming back again. Like, that's our hope, that this King that we serve is coming back to redeem his people. So that's amazing. So I say at the end of the chorus, turn me upside down. And that's why I think we all should pray that, like, you know, God just takes our life and does what he wants with it. So you shouldn't be afraid of that, because God is good and he loves us and he wants the best for us. So just to be able to give ourselves to God and see what he does with our lives. And that's an exciting journey, as I'm sure you agree with me. Like, it's the best, most exciting adventure we could ever choose to embark on. So love this song, and I hope that people enjoy it. And again, I'm really encouraged by it.
Great. This is Upside Down Kingdom by tonight's special guest, Meiz.
We were waiting for a king. We were waiting for a kingdom that would take over the world. A mighty warrior with an army, not some helpless little baby mothered by a virgin girl. But we've been seeing things the wrong way round, 'cause when Jesus came, he turned things upside down. Where the least is the greatest, the king is a servant. Where there's freedom for the slave, where there's life beyond the grave, where there's love for the orphan and fools filled with wisdom, it's an upside down kingdom. So turn me upside down. Jesus did things differently. He even loved his enemy, made the blind to see and the lame to walk. He didn't come to take, he came to give, and gave his life so we could live. He did more than talk the talk. And we've been seeing things the wrong way round, 'cause when Jesus came, he turned things upside down. Where the least is the greatest, the king is a servant. Where there's freedom for the slave, where there's life beyond the grave, where there's love for the orphan and fools filled with wisdom, it's an upside down kingdom. So turn me upside down. This kingdom changed the world. This kingdom never ends. The King of Kings is risen and he's coming back again. This kingdom changed the world. This kingdom never ends. The King of Kings is risen and he's coming back again. This kingdom changed the world. This kingdom never ends. The King of Kings is risen and he's coming back again. This kingdom changed the world. This kingdom never ends. The King of Kings is risen and he's coming back. And we've been seeing things the wrong way round, 'cause when Jesus came, he turned things upside down. Where the least is the greatest, the king is a servant. Where there's freedom for the slave, where there's life beyond the grave, where there's love for the orphan and fools filled with wisdom, it's an upside down kingdom. So turn me upside down. Turn me upside down. Turn me upside down. Turn me upside down.
Marvellous. That was Upside Down Kingdom. Really love that. Really upbeat. And the video is awesome, by the way. The lyric video, mate. Absolutely fantastic. And
yeah, shout out to my friend Matthew Bayliss for doing that. Like, he spent a lot of time doing that, and I think it looks absolutely incredible. So thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
How much does he charge?
Sometimes I'll give him a gift, but it's as and when I can. So a lot of the stuff he does just because he's an awesome bloke, to be honest. And that's what good friends are for, eh?
Talented bloke is really good. And we were just talking off air, weren't we, about what you said before the song about being an upside down kingdom and all that kind of thing, but also about sometimes as Christians we don't represent God very well. And hey, I've been guilty of that. I'm not perfect by any stretch, and I don't profess to be, sorry, but I just feel like there's some people on tonight who've perhaps been hurt by church experiences in the past. I don't know how long ago it was, and maybe you attribute that to God, but I just want to tell you tonight that isn't God. That's people, that's humans, and God is not like that. His heart is for you, and it's not against you. He is for you. And as we were saying off air as well, he's given us freedom, that we can walk in that freedom. But sadly, some people are bound and they don't walk in that freedom, and sometimes that can hurt people and lash out. So just want to encourage you that God loves you. God is for you, not against you. And hey, if anything that we've said tonight has resonated with you in any kind of way at all, my virtual door is open, and I'm sure Meiz, I know his heart as well, would love to speak with you as well. So if you want to speak to us about anything, any point, anything that's touched your heart, please ping me a message after the show, and I'll get in touch with Meiz as well. And there's a song that Meiz has done called Chains, which is available on Spotify, and we really believe that song will minister to you. Meiz, on that note, where can people get hold of your music, like songs such as Chains and things like that?
Yeah, so Spotify is probably the best place, probably the easiest place to get hold of that stuff. So like I say, there's 2 EPs on there. Calling Us Home is the first one, and the second one's called Chains. So please check it out on there. And then I'm posting covers and stuff at the minute on Facebook, sometimes Instagram. If you want to follow those, it's Meiz Music 17. So that's Meiz, Meiz Music 17. So it'd be great if you follow on there and we can keep in touch. Like I say, like Rob said, anything that may be spoken to you or you want to chat a bit more about, please feel free to check me a message as well. And I'd love to chat with you about anything. So it'd be great to keep in touch. If you guys have, I hope that God has ministered to you through the music tonight. And if you want to hear more, it'd be great for you to keep in touch.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. And thanks for coming on the show. It's been a real honour and privilege to have you on tonight. And God bless you. And of course, looking forward to your set on Saturday as well. So Meiz is going to be featuring in our music festival, but please give Meiz some love on you. Just before you go, Meiz, I just want to say some comments here. So Nathaniel Freeman says about Upside Down Kingdom, great fun song, love the video too. And my dad Frank says, love your songs, Meiz. And then John Richards, hi John, by the way, says, so do I, Frank. Brilliant. So guys, thank you for that encouragement for Meiz. We all need encouragement, we all need it. And there we are. And Nathaniel says, are there 16 other Meiz musics with regards to your social media handle?
Well, right, we need to sort that out. Make sure you click the right one.
exactly. So it's at Meiz Music 17, isn't it?
Yeah, 17 at the end. So that should separate me from the rest, but we'll see.
From the other 16.
From the other 16, yeah. It's because I started in 2017. That's why.
Right. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I'll always remember the date that I started. So that is the reason why. There's no other 16. I hope.
Brilliant, guys. Meiz, thank you very much. God bless you. We'll see you on Saturday, and I'll speak to you shortly off air. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, that was Meiz, and please check him out at Meiz Music 17, and please check out that song Chains, particularly if what I just said resonates with you in particular. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for coming back on when we lost coverage for whatever reason. I don't know why, but the software alerts us now and we're able to get back on quite quickly and seamlessly. So thank you very much for sticking with us. Tomorrow evening, we've got another show for you. We have got an artist evangelist from Cheltenham, originally from South Wales, Kay Hancock Israel, and she's a fantastic singer-songwriter. She's going to be sharing some of her music with us, and can't wait for that. That's 8:30 tomorrow evening. I'll also be sharing some music as well. And then Thursday we've got John Stockley. He's head of CVM Cymru, a ministry which is an evangelistic missionary, just putting on events that men can go to. There's statistics which say that men are far less likely to go to church than women, and so he talks about that. But his heart isn't just for men, it's for all people to know Christ. And on that note, I'm sure that you've been aware of the news stories that have been coming out of America, particularly the heartbreaking news story. And it all started, of course, with the tragic death of George Floyd, and there's been riots and all sorts of stuff happening in America. And God is a God who loves everybody, no matter of race, no matter of age, no matter of sex, no matter. He loves you. If you're tuning in tonight, whoever you are, every single person tuning in tonight, I want you to know this is true. God loves you. He desires you, and he wants a relationship with you. And he is sovereign. He is just. And this is a poem that my father, Frank Westall, wrote about the situation in America. I'm just going to leave it with you, because sometimes, we're lucky and we don't think about all such things. And racism, I'm lucky not to be a victim of that. But of course, people in the United States have been, and it is a problem, as well as this pandemic, of course. So I'm just going to leave you tonight with a very poignant poem, and I pray that it ministers to you and blesses you and makes you think. But also, if any of tonight's programme has made you think about a relationship with Jesus, that you want to know more, perhaps you want to come to Christ tonight, I want you to know it's no chance that you've tuned in. He is calling you. He is calling you home, as it was referred to in Meiz's first song that we heard this evening. He's calling us home. He wants you. He wants a relationship with you. He wants your heart and your soul, and he has got such an amazing plan and purpose for your life. And as Meiz said tonight, he felt empty before he came to Christ. He was partying and he was doing all sorts of things that are pleasurable, but after a while, it just didn't have any meaning. If that it relates to you, if that's you this evening, that's true as well. I can relate to that as well. It's true satisfaction. Only Jesus has true satisfaction. Only Jesus can satisfy. So please don't delay. This is your time. Give me a message afterwards, and Meiz as well. And we'd love to talk to you about our faith. And we don't profess to have all the answers, but we know people who do. We can connect you and get you all the answers that you need before you make a decision. But if you're not going to think about your eternal destination now, when we're faced with such bleakness and death staring us in the face, when are you going to think about it? The time is now. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this poem by Frank Westall, my father, about the situation in America. God bless you all. Stay safe, and I pray protection and blessing and provision over you all. God bless you. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
I hear your voice, my brother, 4,000 miles away. I hear your voice, my brother, as clear as the day. I hear your voice, my brother, that says I cannot breathe. I see your murder, brother, and at your death I grieve. And those who stood in silence have blood upon their hands, and he who showed no mercy before the judge will stand. I trust no man to give you the justice that you're due, but he who will judge all our deeds, whose judgments will be true.